In this chapter, we looked at the role of imported animation in a game production workflow. We started out looking at animations in a character, determining if an incoming character has animation on it, and how to assess it and play it here in the preview window. We also looked at rig types, starting out with our generic, and then looking at legacy and humanoid. A legacy animation rig type is for use in animation components and is not part of this courseware. A generic rig type doesn't always have a root node and doesn't support avatars for animation. A humanoid rig type uses avatars and supports inverse kinematics and allows retargeting of animation between characters. In Autodesk Maya, we looked at different characters and why characters might be animated in a program such as Autodesk Maya or Autodesk 3ds Max or a similar content creation package versus animated natively in Unity. Next, we looked at how to create clips, segmenting one incoming animation into different parts by frames, naming them, and clipping their ranges down to distinct frames so that we can transition to these animations later in state machines. Then, we created state machines, looking at the any state and the default state. In this case, the default state is idle, shown in orange. The any state supports outward transitions from any other state in the state machine, and is useful for transitioning to animations that need to happen at any time during the course of gameplay. We created transitions, right-clicking on a state and choosing Make Transition and dragging onto another state. Our transitions are controlled initially by exit time. A certain percentage of time elapses and then that transition will fade into the next animation. Then finally, we looked at our parameters. We looked at floats, integers, bools, and triggers. A float parameter is a floating point number, useful for assessing variables like speed. An int parameter supports integers and is often used in counting different things that happen to characters or that characters do. A bool parameter has a true or false state and might be used for checking for collisions or if a character has a certain power-up. Finally, there are triggers, bools which are consumed as part of that transition and reset. These might be useful for checking for collisions or if a character has picked up a power-up and then that power-up dissipates. We can script to all of these parameters, further adding to the control we'll have over the animation of our characters. In the next chapter, we'll start to explore scripting in Unity. This will give us the glue that ties together our game project, the scripts that control everything from game management and gameplay to the behaviors that we trigger in different ways here in our animator controllers.